Oh, all right, y'all. We back. This 2016 GMC Sierra regular cab we're back in the rear of. We ended video 3 with the suspension working. We got it where it could drive out of the shop. Everything's good. So we thought. But first, we got it out yesterday. Couldn't handle it. Kiddo spent 2 or 3 hours out here last night. We cleaned up. We got the floor clean. Got all the clutter picked up. Bunch of stuff thrown away. And we're ready to get back after it tonight. But I was inside the cab trying to figure out what I was going to do about a controller mount. I got a mount from Ryan. I was trying to figure out where I want to mount it. And I was wanting to mount the controller sideways. Instead of straight up and down. And just making faces at me. So I was going to... You can go in on the Bluetooth app and change that. But whenever I paired it to Bluetooth to my phone, it said it needed to be updated. So I started updating it. About halfway through the update, it quit. And the screen on the controller went out. Just randomly. Went out. Will not come on. Cannot air it up. Bluetooth connection was lost. Don't know what happened. Kind of freaked out. Well, I just happen to have a old airlift setup still here on my shelf that come off of my S10. I sold it to a guy 2 years ago. He never picked it up. So I went and pulled the controller out of it. I put it in this truck. I plugged it in. It come right on. And the system still works. So I'm assuming that something happened with the controller. The actual box. Fried it. Don't know what happened. Called airlift today. Stayed on hold for 30 minutes. The guy told me that since I had a second box to go ahead and hook it up when I got home. And do the update. And see if the other controller went back to work, because they have experienced that where the controller was blank when it stops mid-update. That did not fix it, so I've got to file a warranty claim on this to get a new controller for the customer. Long story short, that's going to turn it into a whole ordeal of waiting on parts to get here so that we can get this thing out of here. But I can still move it, I can still drive it, I can still air it up with the secondary controller I got, as long as I don't have any trouble with it. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how that turns out at the end of the video, because I'm not sure yet. So, but what I am sure is that this bed has to be cut some more. So they left this piece in when they cut it. Hang on, let me clean y'all off. Y'all a little smudgy. There we go. So they left this piece in, but you can see the rear end was already hitting it. So we're gonna end up taking this out. Also, because we have these wheel light wires right here, and they're stretched kind of tight on both sides, and they're going to be right where this is. So we don't want to tear his wheel lights up. So we're gonna end up trimming this out. I drew some lines here. I'm going to come in. I'm going to cut this top and bottom all the way straight across down this fender lip. This was already previously cut out before. The reason I'm going to cut these is because I need to pull this bedside out just a little bit, probably 3/4 of an inch, just make sure I got plenty of tire clearance. So what I normally do on these is I cut them. All 4 of them. I'll do whatever cut I'm going to do on the fender wheels. Then I'm going to take this bed, lay it down. I'm going to put it back on the truck. And then I'm going to lay the truck out, pull the wheel well out where I need it. Hello. And then I will tack it. So it's probably going to be, this will come out about 3/4 of an inch or so. And then we got this entire seam minus the 3/4 of an inch that we can weld back up on all 4 of them. And that'll brace those right back up where they don't flop. And that'll get us where we need to be. I'm sure we're going to have to go in and cut some more of this out. I just got to get it on the truck and see. But that's enough rambling. Let's get after it. You ready?
Heck yeah.
I've been searching for a piece of me. I've been counting on the heads of time.
Feathers been calling, my enemies stalling, my people been balling, my team we been wildin'. Can't 100, we use basic tools. Strategies moving when we gotta move. There wasn't no option, no time on the clock, and no setting it back, and we gotta get profit. I'm standing on top of the glory, the road. We was just rebels, ain't do what was told. When they asked me how we leveled up, without us getting stuck, we just muscled up. This game spin, no one gotta tighten up. hustle up, or you will get stuck in this game. Or you will get stuck in this game.
Alright, so you saw us, we just got the bed cut. We got the fender wells where I cut them. I got all that ground down. That way, whenever I get ready to fit it on the truck real quick and tack it all up, that it'll be bare metal already. So, if you recall, the gas tank cross member, I said we're probably going to have to notch one of the cross members under the cab. Under the bed for the raised gas tank. The easiest way to figure out if you need to do that or not is grab your long level.
That's taller than you.
Yeah, so your bed braces, obviously you know where your bed mounts are. You're just going to lay this across there and see if it lays flat. The only thing that we have touching is this vent hose right here, and it's barely touching, so we're good. We're going to leave that alone. We're not going to cut it. We don't have any part of the gas tank that's going to be an intrusion onto the
Intrusion?
Yeah.
I don't know what that word means. Big words.
All right.
Oh.
But right here on this cross member, you can clearly see that we have some interference. I can't even get it all the way down to here. So we're going to have to cut all the way across. We're also going to have to go back in and we're going to cut part of the bed floor for this wishbone, like I said earlier. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this whole front cross member out up to the bed bolt holes. We'll leave a little bit of meat there, but we're going to go ahead and cut it out real quick with the plasma and get this thing ready to sit on real quick.
Oh. That jump scares me. Every time.
Alright, you ready? I know we're going to have to roll forward a little bit. Good? Now? I'm good right there. You got the gas door? Bring it back there and go in. Oh, there we go. All right, good? Oh, it's definitely got to move around some. Pull your side forward just there. Pull your side forward just there. Not fast in. Just feel like it's moving right there. Yes, it is now. Oh, let it all down. Not pull it out. Pull it out. Maybe I come off 10 more times.
10 more
Oh,
times.
yeah. Right. Oh, all right, so we got the bed set on. We still got a bunch of work to do to make these wheels fit. So we don't really have clearance now, and these have already been trimmed so much that they're kind of sticking out. I need to see if I can figure out a way to screw them in, make them fit like they're supposed to, so it don't look so bad. Because even though I didn't do that, when people see this work and know that I did it, they're gonna think I did it. So we'll,
Tape in there.
nah, that won't hold. It's too stiff. But anyway, so it's hitting on both sides now. So I'm gonna have to go in and feels like trim this fender lip a little bit. And also I cut these bed sides. They're kind of pretty much in the stock location now. So we're gonna pull those out a little bit, front and back, to kind of flare this bed side just a little bit. And we'll weld that back in. That should get it. We've got some clearancing to do around the wheels here. I'd rather trim it, come back and have to trim it again and cut too much and make it look real bad. I actually cut more off of that side and done a better looking cut than this side. But I've also got to cut out for the wishbone, because it's not even close to laid out. I mean, you see how much notch we still got left there, and it's already about to hit the bed floor. So I got to go in and cut that up. We'll keep trimming that and cut it little by little. I also have to do something with all these lines and stuff. I got to get them attached down lower because they're touching the bed floor, and that will cut air lines into fast. So all that'll be addressed for this thing leaves. But yeah, still a lot of work to do. So, but I'll give you an idea what it's looking like. All right, so I set the bed on. I marked everything that I need to mark. I pulled it back off. I come in, mark me a straight line, come over 1 inch. That's what I'm going to shoot for. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull them over quite that far. These bed sides are really stiff. But I want to flare it as far as I can and then tack it and see if I can get it to stay. I've done all 4 of them like that. This one here looks like it may be. It's already almost halfway there. But I may have to wait till I get some help here to hold this bed so I can pull it, tack it, and all that good stuff at the same time. But I'm going to try to do it by myself. So we'll see how it works out. And y'all wish me luck. So, show y'all what we got here. We just welded it right in here. It don't fit real good, and there's kind of a big gap. I was having trouble getting the weld. But the customer is going to bring this truck back for wheel tubs and a notch cover soon. And once he does, we're going to have to cut all this out anyway. So for right now, we're just going to undercoat it and make it black and make it disappear on all 4 of them. And I've got to let it down and get in here and cut my wheel well openings out, trying to make them a little smoother, a little better. So I'm gonna get these sprayed real quick, and then I gotta tape this up so we won't get overspray all over it. Get those sprayed black, all of them. I need to come in and scuff them a little bit. They're kind of dirty, but so I'm gonna get them sprayed, let this thing down, get that cut out, and then it'll be ready to sit back on for hopefully the final time for this trip. And then I still got to run that USB wire for the airlift controller inside the truck, and then we can start putting some miles on this thing, test drive it. All right, another one of those things that's important is water traps. You don't want water and oil and junk going through your air management system. So on this truck, we got a water trap right here at the very back. I haven't drove this truck on the highway yet. I've aired it up several times, moving it around and everything. I want to see just how much water is going to come out of it just from moving it around without driving it. And I've already emptied this one time.
It's gonna spray everywhere. Oh,
That was just in the water trap. Let's see what's in the air tank. It had a little bit in it, not bad. But it's important. So both my trucks, my pink truck has an engine-driven compressor, has a York 210 on the motor, and they put out a lot of oil, not necessarily water. So my truck has a leader hose that comes from the compressor to a check valve, and then it has a hydraulic hose that comes from the front of the truck to the back. I run hydraulic hose because I've tried to run plastic hose, and the air coming out of that engine driven is very hot and it will melt the hose. Also, the steel braided line that comes with the little shop kits, sooner than later they develop pinholes in them and they leak real bad. Are you looking at me?
yeah.
It looks like you're looking over there.
No.
Anyway, they develop pinholes in them and they start leaking, so mine's just been replaced with a hydraulic hose. It comes back into a water trap. Then it goes into the tank where there is a 3/8 ball valve on the bottom of mine to drain it. And then the line coming out of the tank goes to another water trap that goes to the compressors. I mean, to the valve block. So mine has 3 different ways of getting oil out, and they still get oil in them. But in the 6 years that truck's been on the road, I've had to pull the valve block off and clean it once. So they're pretty good. My dually there's had it engine driven since day one. I drove it for over 10 years with that setup, and I pulled the valve block off it one time in 10 years and cleaned it. And they do pretty good, and that's Acura VU4s on both of them. So I just want to show you that. I just got the bed on. We got all the bed bolts in. We got these fender wheels. Show right here. We got these fender wheels. No, come around this side.
Oh shoot, hang on.
We got this fender wheel spray with undercoating. It's kind of brownish colored, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna spray paint it black because I don't like the brown. But we're gonna get all this hooked up, and I also have to run that USB wire inside. So while that's drying and all that, we'll work on running that wire. I'm probably not gonna get it mounted to the dash tonight because we're running out of time. But I am gonna get it at least running inside the truck so I can drive this thing around a little bit, put a few miles on it. So that's where I'm at right now.
Struggle bus.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So I got to run that USB wire on the inside. I pulled the flooring back here, and I found a plastic plug right here in the floor. So I had to drill it out big enough to get that USB plug through it, and I'm about to go in there and get some Permatex, seal that thing back up, put this back together. I run my wire over there as far as I can. I'm not sure where I'm going to mount the controller yet, so I'm just going to run it out right here in the transmission tunnel and stop, and I'll just lay it, fold the console down, lay it in the cup holder for right this minute, and it'll be fine. But I need to get that sealed up. The carpet in this thing is already wet, or the floor, the mass backing is already wet in this thing. I don't know why, but that's a pre-existing deal. But I don't want it to be any wetter because of me, so I'm gonna seal that up real quick and get that wire run in. I got to peel all this tape off. I'm gonna let it sit overnight and let that undercoating dry, and then I have one more spot right here. If you can see where I sharpied it, it was a little close to the tire, but it's got a nice, pretty even radius all the way around the tire on both sides now, so I feel a lot better about that. But we're gonna get this sealed up. It's getting late. Get this flooring back in and get this thing where I can drive it to work tomorrow. Yay!
Drive it to work?
Yep. See how it does.
All up in the woods.
Yep. All right, so we got this thing ready to put some miles on. We got the bedsides flared out a little bit. I couldn't quite get the inch that I wanted. More like 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch, somewhere around there. But on this side, it fits perfect. Like I can get my finger right in there between it. Everything's good. I didn't find any bolts. What I need is a carriage head bolt. Because these things got like a little clip, a little bracket built into them, and like a carriage head clip would go behind there and then pop in through the sheet metal. Well, I would rather put a bolt in it that I can trim the threads down right flush with the nut. I couldn't find one of those today, so I'm gonna try to find some of those before I give the truck back. That way, it only needs 2 on each side to pull this molding in. The other side is worse than this side, but I just want that like that, so we don't have to worry about it. The other side is a little tighter. I just actually pulled on it with my hand, got it out enough I can get my hand between it. It was sitting on it when I got done, but if you look over there, we got the radius cut into our bed a little bit closer, matched to the radius of the wheel. This truck's gonna get wheel tubs eventually, and I don't want to cut too much so that I've got to go back in and add a bunch of sheet metal when I do my wheel tubs. But the wheel tubs that we normally use on these trucks are 36 inch, so they go a little bit past where the factory wheel tub is, and they go right up below that black piece there. So I left a little bit of meat there. I didn't want to cut too much out. We got that. We got cut out for our wishbone here. Mm-hmm. And then we also got all these wires tied down to the frame so that they don't rub the edge of this bed. We don't want anything getting cut into. So we got all that done. We got our wire running inside. You saw that. And it's laid completely out. The tire isn't touching anything. They fit pretty good. That little bit of flare, if I didn't show you that I flared the fenders, you would never know. You can't tell. But it's just enough to make this wheel work. Anything wider than that, we would have had to narrow the rear end. There's no questions asked. So yeah. I hope that he brings it back and lets me do the front eventually.
Yeah, this truck is going to look really good.
But once he gets that wheel back on the front, it's going to look good. But we're going to drive it. I'm going to drive it around a little bit, drop the kid off at school in the morning with it, drive it to work.
Blech.
We're working like 100 yards off the highway. Like I got to go through some grass in somebody's yard to get to work. Like it's not like I'm driving it 47 miles down a dirt road like normal. So I'm gonna drive it, put a few miles on, make sure everything's good. My new dually, I need to put a hitch in the back, and I've got the hitch. I've just got to take the time to put it in. So I may work on that tomorrow, and then just concentrate on driving this around a little bit.
Tomorrow for sure.
Well, she made it to work. First test drive went well. It's a little stiff. Having to put about 90 psi in the back for where I'm comfortable to drive it. I don't want to skin his wheels up. So they're cleared. I just checked them again. So on the way home this afternoon, we may let it down a little bit, but she's done good. I wish we had matching wheels on the front, but it is what it is. I'm gonna drink my coffee and get white girl wasted and move around a few trees. All right, so what we're trying to fix now on this thing, I drove it to work today. It done great. It's a little stiff in the back, a little stiffer than I like. I don't know if it's the way the shocks are mounted or if they're just too stiff for the system or whatever. But when you let some air out, it rides pretty good. But I'm kind of scared of skinning his wheels up, so I've been riding with it kind of picked up a little bit in the back. But what I'm trying to do is fix the way that this fender molding looks. And if you look down in here, you can see how the clips attach. I just went and got some bolts, 1/4 inch, and I'm getting them through the holes here. And then I'm gonna get on the back side, put a washer, a lock nut, and tighten it down as tight as I can get it. I can't hold the head of the bolt because it's just stuck in a piece of plastic, but I'm gonna get it. I got lock nuts that way. Maybe I can force it on there just enough that they'll hold and not back off. But I just want this pulled back in so it looks better. And then, you know, I didn't cut the fender lips, but I don't want to be, you know, I don't want people to see the job and then what they take out of it is, oh, those fender moldings don't worth a crap. So I don't want that to be their focal point when they look at this truck. I want them to be like, oh, man, that looks good. But so we're gonna stick these in real quick and then get in the bed and see if we can tighten them. You can see them there to the fender well. So we're gonna tighten those up. They're only sticking through about 1/4 inch, just about enough for the nut to grab on the lock part. And we're gonna see how it works. I'll let y'all know. And like a champ, feels like it's supposed to now. I bought some shorter ones earlier and then I tried them on that side and they were too short. So I went and bought some longer ones. Then I came back, I put the long ones on this side. They were too long, so I ended up putting the short ones back in this side. So they feel like they're supposed to now. I am happy with that. So. All right, so next thing we're trying to do on this GMC is we're trying to mount the controller. This is the old controller that I had. I got an email from Airlift Friday that they are going to warranty the other one. They're going to send it out. Probably went out Friday, may go out Monday, tomorrow. Not sure, but we'll have it in a few days. So that gives me a chance to drive this thing around, put a few more miles on it. Everything's been perfect so far. Recovery rate on those Vire 444s on that 7-gallon is actually doing really good. So if you watched a video several years ago where a couple years ago, where I done an engine driven versus 485s versus 444s, the 444s I had were not very impressive. So apparently these being new, they still pumping air good. Apparently the ones I had was old, but I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna figure out how to get this thing mounted. I pulled this piece out where your headlight switch is. You got a little cubby there, and then you got, I don't know what this is, like a debit card fits in there perfect. I guess maybe you can stick it in there and when you pull it to drive-through, hand it to somebody. I don't really know exactly what that's for. Insurance card maybe. But so this bracket that I got from Ryan, I just put it in a vise, bent this on down to 90 degrees, and I'm just gonna mount it something like that. And then we're gonna turn this keypad sideways and mount this controller like so. So you can go in on the options and program it for this keypad to be turned. All you got to do is take those two Phillips heads out and rotate it, put it back in, and when you program it for this to be turned, the screen will also turn. So we're going to get these marked right here, get them drilled, go find some bolts to put in it, and get this thing mounted up. I've got to go find bolts for this, and they're really, really small. I'm going to look in the owner's manual and see if I can figure out what size they are before I go to town. That way, maybe make it a little easier to find what I need. All Also, I had somebody in the comments ask about how much lift this kit got. That is full lift with 100 pounds in the back. The shock is like fully extended. If the shock wasn't on there, it would keep going way up because you can see the bag is nowhere near fully extended. So the shock that Keith told me, I don't remember the exact specs, but it was like 13 inches collapsed, and I don't remember extended. This shock that we have on here is the exact same, collapsed, and extended was pretty close. So if I did swap to the Monroe shock that he recommended, it might get a hair more lift, but not much. So they're outside the frame rail kit with the shock that mounts to the lower link bar and up to the side of the notch. It's at a different shock ratio, and it gets a lot more lift. But I mean, how often do we ride around with them jacked way up in the air? That is plenty of lift to drive it, to get it on the trailer, you know, do whatever you need to do, and it still rides good. So it's a little stiff in the back, just because I don't think that's the right shock for this truck, but it works, and that's what he already had. So if he decides he wants to change it later on, it's very simple to change, just a couple bolts, and yeah. Got the mount, the airlift controller mount painted, and I've got to go try to find some bolts tomorrow. The book says that the controller takes a 4-40 bolt, which is hella small. I went to Tractor Supply. They don't have anything smaller than a 6, so I'm gonna have to go to like the nut bolt store tomorrow and see what we can find. But we'll be back and keep pilling on this thing. I gotta do a nut and bolt check on it too. So now that we got all that done, we must wait on the new airlift controller to get here, and we can mount it in the dash and wash this thing off a little bit, and yeah, we'll be ready to send it home. So now we wait.
Daddy, you're terrible.
Oh, so close. Ah, you suck too.
It should go in there, but it can't even pick itself up and make its way. Yeah, just watch the grass grow.
Airlift, you better send me a controller because she's loading it to Savage.
Take forever.
Try the other one. This one over here.
That one?
Yeah. I ain't hear nothing. Scream louder. No.
Hey, answer with this person not.
Let me see your hand. I saw this on a movie one time. It was called Saw. That was got to go between that finger and that finger. All right, push that pedal on the ground and push.
Oh no! It's here.
Yes! Alright, so we got our new controller in. This is the way it comes. We want it mounted like this to the bracket. So we have to turn this 90 degrees. So it's very simple. Do not do this while it's plugged in. I don't know if it'll hurt anything. but good. So we're gonna pop these 2 screws out. I'll put it right there so it don't fall, which is probably still gonna fall on the floor. All right, we got our screw out. All right, we got our plate out. We're gonna flip it, just like so. Ease it back in there, and then we're gonna put our screws back in. It's that simple. Next, we're gonna go in on the wireless app and turn it that way. So, give me just a minute, and we'll do that. All right, so I got my airlift controller mounted. I used a bracket from Basic Bag Works. Ryan cut me. I got it bolted in here. This is the little tab. I hadn't put the protective screen off yet. Anyway, the bolts is there. Me, in my infinite wisdom, I was going to take my pocket knife and notch out around that, and I was like, yeah, that'll just fit right down around the bolts. It'll look fine. No, it looks like crap. Sorry, Eric. I did not mean to mess that piece up. But the line comes out, loops, goes right there over the AC vent, and we got it run all the way down under the vinyl floor in this truck, all the way to the other side where we brought it in. And it just wasn't long enough. It had about an extra maybe foot of, probably not even a foot of slack here to get all that hooked up. So if it would have been any farther, if this would have been like an extended cab or a crew cab, I would have had to get a longer cable. They sell these, it's USB to whatever that connector is. It's not a C-type or Apple. It's a little funky one. But anyway, so we got that. Also, if you notice, I've got air pressure in the front. What that is I had to put 2 pieces of air line, and it's just looped from front left to the front right to make a loop, because when I was trying to do the calibration, it wasn't calibrating because it wasn't showing any front air pressure, if that makes sense. So it kept trying to put air in the front airbags, and it would never register to the computer. So it never would finish the calibration. So I done that. I looped the 2 lines, went right through the calibration and yeah, I just left that in there. Mainly because when you do the presets on this airlift, when you hit this preset, hang on, watch this. I'm gonna dump all the air out of the front. Like I said, it's just a little, about 2 foot long piece of air line in there. So when it does open, it's just filling that air line up. It's looping right back. So if you do the presets, let me show you that. So if I manually air this thing out, it manually aired up, nothing in the front. But if I use ride height preset, it'll set it, and then it starts filling the front bags for whatever reasons. And I don't know why. And I don't know how to turn it off. I've got the max pressure on the front airbags set at 0. So it shouldn't put any air in them, ever. But it does. So, and it'll fill it up. And it does it like pretty much with every preset that I have. It'll keep shooting air in it, or see, like it just lets some air out that time. But as you can tell, I have it set at 0, 0, 98, 98. So I don't know why it keeps putting air in there. But that's some of that airlift stuff. It's frustrating, but it does work. I mean, it's working. So, and I also did have to go back and run a calibration on this controller too. I had already done it on the other controller, but I had to do one on this controller too. I just laid it out, and it did dump the fronts. So let's do it again. I don't like this double tap thing. So it shot air in there. But that is not my ride height. My ride height is like 80, so it's slowly adding air, and it's quit now. Now it's putting air in the front again. I don't know why it does that, but it does it. It's really annoying. But the customer's coming to pick this truck up in the morning. Finally got this controller back. He's ready for it, so I'm gonna pull this thing over and wash it and get it all cleaned up for him. He's coming from 3 hours away, so he said he'd be here at 9 in the morning. So yeah, he's gonna have to leave early. Better go ahead and wash it today. Well, today is the day. Customer's coming to get his truck this morning. He'll be here in a couple hours. It's about 7:30 in the morning, somewhere around in there. Super early on a Saturday. And this thing's dirty. It's got a bunch of shop dust on it, so I'm gonna get in here and wash it off real quick and get it ready to go home. Well, we got it all shined up, and yeah, might as well wash KK's while we're right here. We already got the stuff out, and it's dirty, so we're gonna wash the Escape. Well, if we're gonna wash hers, might as well wash mine too. Make a full day out of it. Shoot. That's actually the first time I give it a bath since I've had it. And it's a big, big, big ass truck. It took me like an hour. Alright, so we washed some vehicles, we had some fun, we got a truck done, we got paid and it's gone. And it went back to Florida. The owner picked it up. It was actually yesterday at this point. He picked it up, drove 3 hours home, said everything went good. He's super excited about it. He went home, he put his bed cover back on his truck. He put the front wheels back on. He sent me a few pictures. Looks killer. He did tell me that he was taking it to a show in Texas next month. I don't remember what show he said. But anyway, so if you're in Texas, and you might see that truck, so you might not. But it's gone. I'm gonna throw in a couple pictures here at the end that he sent me, and yeah, I appreciate y'all checking this series out. It's 4 videos just for the rear. I know it was a lot, but it went pretty good. Kid had her homecoming dance last night. She had fun. She still got her fantastic nails and toes. Let me see them nails.
They ain't bit off yet.
Let me see them nails. Let me see them. Do it like this. Spirit fingers. Yeah. So she had an emerald green dress, and she looked super cute. Might throw a picture of that in there, too.
No.
All right. Appreciate y'all checking it out. See ya.
See you, bye.